morning. Hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 27th of August. If you are new here, I just let my guides virtually channel through to you and get messages to you. So stay watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And we'll just get started. Oh, firstly, I just wanted to talk about this room because this room has particularly strong orbs that seem to fly around. I'm sure a lot of you guys have spotted them out there, but it's just interesting, isn't it? When I watch the videos back in this particular room, I seem to get more orbs. It's very interesting. So you might notice them flying around sometimes. One hit me in the face the other day. I felt it. It was just so weird. And they seem to like the mirror, don't they? They bounce sort of into and bounce off, and it's a strange sort of vibe in this room. So I thought I'd come in here and shoot it today, and we'll just see what comes up. Okay, I'll just get started, and enough of orbs, and we'll see what comes up. I mean, they're welcome here, aren't they? We love seeing them. It's showing it. People are retracting from government. It's showing me them like creeping backwards. This is the people who've been complying. They are starting to creep backwards away from government. I keep saying it, but they're showing me them like creeping back really quietly. Like it's almost showing me like they don't want to creak a floorboard because they don't want to be seen nor heard. That's the people waking up. They're creeping back from government very, very carefully and slowly because they don't want what they can now see is coming at them, which we all know is the Great Reset agenda. If you don't know what that is here and you're new, you might need to go and look that up. It's a book written by Klaus Schwab, for anyone that's not quite sure what we're talking about. So that's what I'm getting. These people that have been complying, they're starting to creep right back now. They're tiptoeing very slowly back away from government. Oh, it's so good, isn't it? We've been wanting to hear that for a long time. And there's been a lot of people standing up too. New Zealand had some protests popped up the other day. They've been having protests. There are people standing up. So we know this is starting to happen. Let's hope it explodes on a really large scale. That's what we want to happen here, isn't it? Did you hear about Zuckerberg? He's been interviewed on Joe Rogan's podcast or interview channel, and he's admitting that he controlled the algorithms of the Hunter Biden laptop information coming out, and he said it was quite major, the control. So what's stopping them from controlling, as we all know, misinformation apparently? We know they've been doing it, but there it is coming from straight from the horse's mouth, which I thought was interesting info for all of us to know today, that they have been controlling everything. We knew that anyway, but maybe it's good for other people to hear that from Zuckerberg. Let's see where we go today. Hang on. I'm getting sidetracked with all the info. I'm getting it. People are outcrying. People are outcrying because there's no justice. They can feel, and this is the little peasants and the little people like all of us, it's got them with that. I said the other day they had their hands up trying to get to the government to give them some bread to eat. It's like this begging. They're begging for government to back off and leave them now. This is the image that I'm getting. This is what people are thinking. They might not necessarily be begging, but this is the visual image and the energy that people are emitting now. Can you just leave us alone? Why are you doing this to us? And that's what I'm getting from the little people. They're questioning, and that's good. We need them to question. And they're questioning, why is this happening? Why aren't you sort of feeding us? Why aren't you looking after us? Because now they're seeing for themselves that government doesn't have their best interest at heart. And we always knew that. We knew that right at the beginning when we stood up, that there was something strange going on. Well, now these people are realising that government's not out to protect them. And you know, that was all around the jab movement, and everything was pretty much that, you know, we're protecting everybody, we're saving everybody's lives, and you need to do this too because you're not protecting the elderly and the people that you love. And here we are now, 3 years on, and now they're squashing everybody. You know, it does tend to cause a lot of questions to be asked by the little people and the peasants, especially the compliers who've been complying for all that time. Let's see where else we go. Hang on a sec. I've got Germany. Something going on in Germany. They're switching things up a lot in Germany. People aren't caving to this in Germany. I do get that. They're not bowing down to their government anymore. They did once upon a time. And that takes a lot of inner strength in these parts, Germany and around those regions, because like I say to you all the time, there's a lot of these really deep-seated traumas that these people have carried through from generation to generation because of what happened with, as we all know, all the control in Germany many years ago. It's left a huge impact and like a big footprint on a lot of these people. But they're not bowing down to government. People are very strong. I'm getting that for Germany. It could be a very big uprising there. It's just showing me that people aren't going to take it. Germany, there is something going on in Germany. It could even be that it's hidden, but that people are waking up to it now. We know it's hidden. But there's something being pushed out in Germany. I just keep getting it. I hope that the people in Germany and around those regions are aware of it. But there's something big that's been coming, and it's kind of unspoken, but the people are waking up to it now, and they're not going to bow down to government. Oh, that's so good to hear, isn't it? Let's hope that they stay really strong and group together. Let's see where else we go. I'm getting Britain. I still get Britain. Obviously, we're getting Britain because there's a lot happening. I still get this uprising. I'm still feeling like there's going to be movement and like uprising. And look, this is global. I'm still getting it. People, I mean, how much do you have to take before you actually stand up and push back and try and get your lives, your freedom, some sort of normality back in your life? And I'm still getting that people are wanting to fight back. And I said it the other day, they're actually working out the how. People, see, we were pretty aware in the beginning. We knew we had to stand up, go to actual like parliament houses, to our government leaders, etc., and stand up and fight back and get our freedom. So we had that freedom of choice, which pretty much, we sort of won, but we didn't win. But we still pushed through and stayed true to ourselves. So now these people are having to work out how they're going to navigate this and how they're going to do that. That's why I always talk about us, like you, madman, sitting back on our recliners and just watching all this play out, because we've had our battle. We had our battle in the very beginning. It's not our battle to have. These people need to work out how they're going to get their life back. And, you know, we know here it's a lot about doing strikes, coming together in big groups. Just literally standing up and finding your inner strength is a way to do it as well, because that creates that energy that permeates and pushes back against government when you bring a lot of people together. So that's what they're currently in the middle of working out, how they're going to go about navigating this and standing up to government. Let's see where else we go. This is good. People are getting disdain now for their government leaders. Not us, we're already not even over here thinking like that anymore. We don't carry those kind of feelings. As much as we get really a bit angry and frustrated, these people are getting disdain for their leaders. You've got to remember that they were coerced, forced, mandated, told this was a horrific virus, that you need to save everybody and you're being selfish if you don't. So they all went along with all this, thinking their government had their best interests at heart. But now they know, because it is so visibly obvious, that this was never about their health. That was the inroad to get everything on apps on their phone, as we all know here, get everything kind of start the ball rolling. And now these people are detesting their government leaders because they know what they're doing to people. It's out there. It's all coming to fruition. Every conspiracy, I think we could say here, has or is coming to fruition. And now these people realize it's the truth. It was never conspiracy. It's all landing in their lap, that government has been lying to them. We know it. They are starting to know it. I said they're not in the mass psychosis for everything else. They were for the jab, and they still are. So be very careful. I always tell you guys that, to really protect yourself, because these people are still in their pain bodies around the jab. So I just don't even go there. That's my advice to you, still don't go there. But talk about everything else, because they can see it. It's very visibly obvious that government does not now have their best interests at heart. Because, see, you got to picture, this is confusing for people, because on one hand, government's protecting their health, looking after the elderly, blah, 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 all these things that they, stop being selfish and all that. And then in the next breath, the government's squashing everybody, and we're talking on a large scale, every aspect of people's lives, foods, farmers, we need electric cars, renewables, let's drop the housing market and put interest rates up. Every single avenue, of these people's lives is now being squashed over here. So how, when you're not in a mass psychosis, it's very obvious that something's going on and that government is trying to squash you. So this is where people are now over here in this very confused state. It's like I talked about the other day. It felt like they were doing one of those teaser puzzles, but there was no solution. It's like the join the dots. I think that's what I was talking about. But there were numbers missing. Like there was no number 2, and then there was no number 6. So how could you make a picture out of something when there's pieces missing? So this is what's going on over here. There's a massive confusion for these people waking up. They're trying to make sense of it still. Oh God, I don't think there is any sense in it all, is there? It's just so frustrating. Hang on, let's see what else we get today. Now they're describing us as like these little clouds like drifting around. So we're like these little clouds in the sky now, just like drifting around, and we're just floating around. And I guess if you think of a cloud, it's sort of white, fluffy and soft, and it's, I guess you could say it's still untouchable because it's so high up in the sky. This is us. We're high up and we're out of government's reach. We know that already because we've been talking about how our vibration has moved right away from all of this that's impacting a lot of people. So we're like these clouds kind of drifting in the sky. But what the guides are saying is when we need to come together, we come together like the clouds. Hopefully not the cloud seeding. We're not involved in any of that, unlike the government. But when we need to come together, we come together and we all create this like big storm. It's like we have this ability, and this is you watching my channel, we have this ability to create this big like storm and thunder like energy. And I think he could refer it to kind of that Zeus energy with the lightning I described the other day, how he puts his lightning into the earth and it radiates this energy out. Well, that's us. We have this ability to come together and in strength in numbers and create a sort of storm. And this is a storm over government or with government. You think about the beginning when we all fought back and we stormed, I didn't storm, well, we marched onto Parliament House and, we stood up on numbers, didn't we? Every country stood up. Canada, New Zealand, America, everybody stood up and it created a shift in things. They started to leave us alone. So we still have that energy, and that's the image that I'm trying to give to you today, is that we go off and we do our own thing. And look, here on my channel, we communicate, we go off and do our things, but then we come together and we unite and we keep touching base, and that's the clouds coming together. We create like that big storm energy that makes a difference. It's almost like, I guess you could say, that we come together, create a storm and the rain. And if you think of a storm and rain, which a lot of us have experienced lately with the weather manipulation, it drops the rain in a big downpour and it cleanses everything. So it has this way of like cleansing. All the streets and all the trees are refreshed and everything seems greener after a very big storm. So this is what they're saying to us. We have this ability to come together, and it's almost, I'd say, a way of strengthening and cleansing ourselves too. We often talk about the blog movement, similar kind of scenario. But we are very strong as individuals, these kind of clouds flying around off the radar and very high up, maybe near the mountain. And then we can come together with our energy and drop it sort of probably on government or Parliament House and all the government leaders' houses and sort of cleanse things out because we see things from above. I always talk about that. We have this ability to see things from a very high vantage point, meaning we don't just see things for face value and what they are. We see things beyond that because we sense things, we know things, we understand things, we research things too. We don't just sit back and say, oh, what's all this about? We actually go in and do our little bit of investigation early on, and we figure these things out. So we're like these little light, nice light fluffy clouds. But when we come together, man, are we strong. We can make a big difference. And that's kind of the energy for us at the moment. Oh, and I just thought of it. I've got to tell you something. Oh, I went to the movies last night. I just thought of it. It just came into my mind. So guides must have wanted me to tell you. Because I was going to say we're collective like clouds when we come together. But I went to the movies last night. I saw Leo Grande. I think it had Emma Thompson in it. Actually, it was pretty funny. It had a few good laughs in it. And my husband and I were sitting there, and they had all the ads. You know how they have the ads running before the actual screening of the show. You know, a million ads. And there was this little bit just before the movie started. There was some slides that went across the screen. I'm trying to think. I thought it was part of the intro to the movie, and this slide came up. I'm not joking. My husband would verify it, and it was like a pale yellow, and it had black writing, and it said reset, big black bold words, reset, and underneath it had collective written underneath, and it was kind of I think it was even curved, the word collective, and it was on the screen, I would say, for not even 5 seconds. And then it went, and Tim said, did you see that? And I went, I did. And then I thought it was going to go into like another ad or something like that, but it was gone, and then the movie started. So it was so obvious, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, were we the only ones that saw that? And I was thinking there were some people behind us, and I was thinking, I wonder if they saw it. Because it was so quick, they wouldn't have switched onto it, whereas we saw it straight away. I'm not joking, I swear, absolute swear, it said Reset Collective. What even is that? See, this is the subliminal messages in the middle of a movie theatre, and it wasn't to do with anything else. It was just like a slide that came up with that written on, and then it was gone. How? I thought I was imagining it, and then my husband said, did you see that? And I went, Reset Collective. He went, yeah. What? Honestly, so keep an eye out. If you go to the movies, look out for these subliminal messages, because I think they're starting to put them into people. We talked about that here. Honestly, I felt like I was going crazy. And because I thought it was going to just go into some sort of ad or something, but it didn't. And it just went straight into the movie then. So weird. Anyway, I know I'm not going crazy. This actually happened. Swear to God. We do talk a lot about movie theatres here. Maybe they think that's a good way to get subliminal messages into people. You got a pretty captive audience sitting in the movie theatre, haven't you? Well, we know it's probably happening on TV as well. But I had to tell you, that is just so weird. It really weirded me out, honestly. They're very clever and very smart. So look out for that if you go to the movies. If anyone else has seen anything like that, share it down below. Let us know, because it's good to know what they're kind of up to with their... We know how good they are with their mass psychosis and subliminal messages. People wouldn't have even noticed it. I know they wouldn't have. They would have just thought, oh yeah. They wouldn't have even read it probably. But when we saw the reset, we were like... And then it had the collective. What's it all mean? I need to go and look that up, really, don't we? All right, so I just had to share that today. Subliminal messages are coming. They're on the way, obviously. It's pretty scary, isn't it, if you think about it? Such monsters. Well, look at Zuckerberg controlling everything on Facebook and YouTube and everything else. All right, we'll see if there's anything else today. It's just saying this is really hurting people at the hip pocket. People are withdrawing their savings now. They're cutting into their earnings. People are so desperate to, because they don't want to admit they're a failure. Nobody wants to feel like a failure. So people are cutting into their savings, and they're withdrawing super. There's a lot of this going on at the moment. I talked about August, the housing market's just going to bottom out, which it already has pretty much. I'm sure that's global, you guys, as well. But this is what's happening. They're digging into their savings because they're trying to save face. But the thing is, what these people waking up don't realise too is that this is going to keep happening. It's not going to go away. See, they think the dust will settle and everything will settle down and interest rates will stop. But it's not going to. It's going to keep moving into 2023. Absolutely easily going to move into 2023. Because as we all know here on my channel, they want to knock us all down to nothing. It's really sad, isn't it, that people are having to dig into their life savings and already here in Australia, and I know it would have happened where you guys are during the pandemic, a lot of people already dug into their super. They were allowed to use their super. Funny that. It was all part of the plan probably, so people ended up with nothing. People that were out of work dug into their superannuations and term deposits. It's very sad that people have worked all their life, paid their taxes. Gosh, everybody here, I know we all pay a huge amount of taxes, and look what they're doing to us. Like, it's just so cruel, isn't it, that they're doing this to people? So I'm definitely getting that people are still going to get taken down, sadly. Like I said, more bankruptcies, more foreclosures. It's just going to keep happening. We know where it's headed, don't we? I'll just see if there's anything to close with today. Sorry, it's a little bit doom and gloom, the reading today, isn't it? But I guess there's just so much going on, isn't it? It's like we're just waiting, isn't it? We're just in this, well, we are waiting. We're sort of sitting back in our recliners, just watching everything from afar, waiting for some great movement. And it is, it's coming. We just have to have very good patience, that's all. Let's see if there's something to close with today. Now, it's saying like we've got very good memories. We're people who take memories from our past and bring them forward with us. Now, yesterday I talked about us starting to build the details of our life and keeping our lives moving forward. It's really important, if you're here watching my channel, that we keep growing and evolving as a person. And that's what they're saying. Take the good memories that you have and bring them forward with you. You know, our lives haven't been all terrible and doom and gloom like from the past and every experience was rotten and horrible. It's not been. So we can take our good experiences and we can just create whatever we want. And that's what the guides keep saying to us. So we really need to sort of knuckle down and really start to think about our lives moving forward and how does that look. I know a lot of us here, like I said, I'm buying the veggie gardens today, and you guys are so creative as well. You know, some play music. We all here really love music. A lot of us seem to have that as our common thread, don't we? That we really love music, and it evokes and it creates emotions and things inside of us. So maybe music's another way that we can keep expanding. So just start to gradually keep opening up your life, I guess, is what the guides are trying to say to us with that ever expanding and evolving, and just keep moving forward. Don't go back. Like, if you do go back, what they're saying is take those good memories from the past. Don't keep rehashing and reliving what happened and all this happened, because we're not there anymore. We're just not. This stuff over here, meaning the reset agenda and all the people waking up, it's not ours. It's a whole different show. Like I keep saying, we got written out of the COVID agenda book a long time ago. I'd say the first chapter. Like I said, others got written out. Mandates, vaccine injuries got written out further into the book. So we accept everyone here on my channel. We don't care what your journey has been, because if you're here, that means you've woken up to all this nonsense that they've been feeding people. And sadly, it's not the truth. But we've got to kind of really leave all that behind. Definitely observe it from afar, like I keep saying, because that's the safe place to be. Laying in our recliner chairs and listening to music and just chilling out. Hang on, let me see if there's something to close with today. And they're saying it, we're hidden from government. And it's not that we're hiding, we're just hidden. We're like the clouds, we're like the mavericks, we're up high on the mountaintop. We're away from all of this. They can't find us. Government can't find us. And look, I'll be seriously honest. They're not interested in us. They throw the old occasional unvaccinated thing out just to see how all these mass psychosis people are about it. It's more about how they're reacting to it. It's not about affecting us because they know we're not interested. It's like I keep saying, when we're vibrated out of that vibration, it's not part of our reality anymore. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. I hope you're all going really well out there. I will get on and do another video tomorrow. This is just a really light one today. Sometimes we just need just some light support from the guides, I guess, because it's been a hell of a journey, but we are feeling better. Look, I really believe that. I feel stronger myself. I know you guys do. I can tell by the things that you're saying. You know, we laugh, we come together, we smile when the guides give us the most ridiculous things. Honestly, sometimes the things they give me, oh, you wonder why I giggle and laugh so much on here, because I get the message before I have to tell it to you, and then I'm like, how am I going to tell people some of this stuff? But it's just, I have to, because if I don't tell you that message, the guides won't give me the next bit of information. So they almost forced me to tell you. So bear with me. It's coming from above, not from me. All right, I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like buttons, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye from Australia. Bye, everybody. Bye.